Hello, everybody. My name is Lisa Burwell. I'm your host of VIE Speaks, Conversations with Heart and Soul. And this is a storytelling platform layer of VIE Magazine celebrating 17 years. And I'm super happy to have a colleague and friend, Mark Little, in the house. Hi, Mark.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Love that you're here.
Yeah.
So we started working together about 2 or 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Had known of you, and I think you may have known about us, and we've crossed paths. But I really, really enjoyed the moment when we started working together because I think you're one of the best filmmakers and photographers in the area, and probably one of the best, if not the best, filmmaker that I've worked with in
Well,
my
thank
career,
you.
which is a long
Thank
career.
you.
Too long. Oh my gosh. So
Well,
you're a photographer, filmmaker,
yeah,
dad of 3,
yeah.
husband,
Yeah.
and you're a super cool and interesting guy, and I'm looking forward to the conversation.
Well, thank you. We try to be. No.
Yeah. So we started featuring you in the magazine, sort of like, tying
Yeah.
it in, like,
So glad about that. Yeah.
yeah,
Kind of creeping back into photography
yeah.
or fine art photography.
Right. I remember one of the film making junkets that we were on for our client, EF San Juan
Yeah.
at Zuma.
Was that the first one we worked on?
It was
Eddie's?
it
That
was
was the
Eddie's,
first
yeah.
project?
But
Okay.
I don't know if it was Zuma.
No, it wasn't. But that was the
But
first
that was like,
client.
in the first year,
Yeah.
I think. And there's this beautiful artwork on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And where Jordan and I are talking about it, and then you said, "Oh yeah, that's my artwork."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, I didn't know you're a photographer too." You go,
Yeah.
I started out as a photographer.
I get that a lot.
And then I said,
Yeah.
"Well, why aren't you a photographer anymore?" And you go, "I don't want to be a photographer." And then I'm like, "You should be a photographer."
That sounds about right. Yeah.
And so you had laid that sort of creative outlet down because you were doing filmmaking because you didn't want to do it right then.
Yeah.
Because
in a
of
way,
what?
in
I
a
mean,
way.
you told me
Yeah,
then, but
yeah.
I'll let you tell.
Yeah. I just kind of lost its luster for a while. I think when you put your heart and soul into things and, it's your own fault for letting it let you down, but in a way it kind of wasn't just quite where I wanted it to be. And I just got upset with it, and I just needed to step away and just take a sabbatical and, reinvent myself or just, I don't know, think differently about it. But it was just, I needed time away from it.
I think it's good that you can do that because a lot of people can't walk away from something because they think they're walking away from it forever. And maybe at the time you thought you were doing that.
I don't know. I think I kind of always thought I would. I mean, I still took pictures. I did other things, commercially. But as far as what I started in, like landscapes and ocean and all that, I don't know. Kind of just something about it. Kind of lost the. I didn't say it did it. I mean, it's me. I just didn't connect with it as much anymore.
Well, how then when you got back into it, and then is Self the first sort of that? Okay, so that marks the debut of the chapter 2.
Yeah, in a way, because I was kind of started in landscapes. I guess outside the water, got into the ocean, did that for a long time. But I always love photographing people. There's just, I can't get away from I just like humanity in interesting ways. And so Self was kind of the first chance to kind of do that, I think I've always wanted to be a portrait photographer, or I think of myself that way, So I thought it'd be a little strange being like, oh, I thought this was like the ocean guy or the landscape guy. Now he's doing people, but it's like, it's time, I don't want to just be put in one category of like, this is what I
It's good to be undefined.
Yeah. And you want to always move forward. You want to, just test yourself and try yourself and see, push and see what you can do.
So explain the ethos of that to the listeners.
So Self.
Yeah.
It was kind of like this, this idea of who we are. And it's a question everybody's asked forever. It's not anything like a new concept. But for me, I wanted to explore it photographically to see if I could somehow, show an interesting way in which I sort of view how we view ourselves, or in a manner of speaking. Um, yeah, so it's essentially about um, where we came from as a kid to where we are now and how we change over time. So how we're the same person, but I'm also very different than I was when I was like 7 years old. You know,
By the way, what were you like when you were 7 years old?
I don't, I was pretty rambunctious. Yeah,
Mm,
yeah, but I was a good kid. I really was. I didn't
mhm,
get in a whole lot of trouble. My sister did, so
mhm.
I could watch her and know,
Don't
okay,
do that.
don't do that, don't do that. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, she paved the way for good behavior.
uh-huh.
So, but yeah, it's just kind of it's weird, when you look at a photograph of yourself when you're younger, you're like, oh, that's me. It is, but it's not,
Mhm,
and all these things that we go through in life are constantly, I think, carving away at sort of a truer self as we get older. Hopefully, we're learning from our mistakes and growing and have more wisdom and experiences. And so it's sort of a homage of how what that looks like in a manner of speaking. And there's that one photo, probably my favorite photo, because you
mm.
asked, you didn't, but like, but I love the photo. It was one of the first ones I had in my head was the birthday cake.
Mhm,
Just for some reason, it was so rock and roll, it just
mhm,
had this
mhm,
just cool vibe because it was like you're paying respect to your, birth, your former self as you stand there currently. She's
mm,
lighting her cigarette on her own
mhm,
birthday cake,
mhm. That's a
um,
cool photo.
which is it's I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like I've been there and paid my respects, but like I'm still moving forward.
Mhm,
I'm different now.
mhm.
So yeah,
So, how does it feel now to be back in that realm of
it's fun.
photography?
It's
Yeah.
fun.
So you're liking it
Yeah,
again?
I needed the time
Yeah.
off. I needed to just kind of get my head around, I think, what I wanted to shoot and how I wanted to shoot it. I don't know if my style has changed a whole lot, which it's fine. It is what it is. But the subject matter keeps evolving. I
Mhm,
keep thinking of different things I want to shoot, try, and
mhm.
then I don't know how to do that. I want to try that. I have no
Yeah.
idea. So I'm just I write it all down and I do a lot of voice memos to
Mm,
myself.
mhm.
It's just faster.
It's pretty,
And
interesting because you do a lot of commercial work,
mhm.
and commercial work means, you're on the grind, you're moving and
Yeah,
meeting deadlines and all that. So, what is your creative process when you're doing your business and you're doing your commercial work and you're making your money, making deadlines? Then when are you, conceiving these new ideas?
all the time.
Mm,
They just come to me a lot of times when I'm driving or editing or I'm still one of the idiots that smoke. So
mhm,
smoke cigarettes. So when I'm having a smoke break,
mhm,
I can think of a lot of things. I don't know. I just feel like I'm really observant and have it's just kind of always open to receiving a good idea. And I don't know. I don't really feel like I go and find them. They
mhm.
just kind of happen.
Yeah, I feel the same way about that. Yeah.
And I just I don't know. I don't force it. Don't think too much about it. I just sort of try to keep time management
Mhm,
under wraps.
mhm.
And always have those creative projects, and I needed that really in work. So I was doing commercial work nonstop,
Yeah.
but also not doing photography, which was really getting me to almost a burnout place. You know, Professionally, it was doing great,
Mm,
but then I just wasn't,
fulfilled.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think when I reintroduced that, it really helped a lot
Mhm,
because now I'm consciously making decisions on, oh, okay, I have these projects, this, but like, when am I going to go do that fun thing that I want to do,
mhm, mhm.
And so, yeah, so it's been really nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So we, hosted a one-man art show for you, an
Mhm.
exhibition just about 5 weeks ago,
Yeah.
which I loved, and we took all of our artwork off the walls and put your work up on the walls. It looked like a very cool gallery.
Yeah.
We were
Thank
so
you.
happy to
Yeah,
do it. You're welcome. I know that night you sold a couple of pieces.
I did.
What has happened after that?
Um, I've had a lot of inquiries. I it's one of those, I don't know how people just sell art that to me, it's such a, like if I was to buy art, I would put so much time and thinking like, is this what I want to look at for a really long time? Or like,
Mhm,
what is this person like? Or want to know more. So I've had a lot of those conversations, like, what does this mean? Or they're interested in a certain type of
Mhm.
photos. But it's been going great.
So good.
It really has. Yeah. It's funny. I get a lot more. I took all my images offline for one, so that is hard. But I get a lot of interest in video work, like because I'll make a video about an art series. I'm starting to do that now, which I didn't do before.
Mhm.
I might have like made a clip or two, but I wasn't really interested in doing it. So, but now it's part of the whole process to try to make a little short film about what I'm shooting, and
And then that's how you're selling the work?
in a way, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, because people really, it's an easier way to connect to it. We see so many images
Mhm.
on a screen, phone, anywhere, and they're all good. They all look great, but I think seeing a video and seeing a little bit more in depth look into it is kind of just the way I kind of like to work. So it's
Mhm.
it's been great. Yeah.
Well, we started working together, as I mentioned a bit ago, with our client EF Juan
Hmm.
for a series called Real Wood. And from the moment that you took the creative helm of that on film, the series has grown exponentially, and it's really a good marketing tool for the client. But it also is super great filmmaking and cinematic. And
Hmm.
then for everybody out there, so we'll be on set maybe anywhere from 2 to 4 hours. Maybe within 22 and a half hours later, you will send it to us. And I want to know how that happens.
I can't stop working. I'm a workaholic. Well, I structure it that way too. So there's not like any kind of crazy magic, but if I have a project, the next day I structure editing time. I don't like to go back to back to back projects and not edit. So I try to do it while it's fresh on my mind because I know
Hmm.
all the shots. I was
Right.
there. Like,
You're
oh, that was a good one. That was a
yeah.
bad one. Whatever.
Right.
I love that series. I'm really glad that you guys asked me to do it because
It's a good
it's
series.
just architecture in general is just fun
Hmm.
to shoot,
Hmm.
and
And Eddie
I just feel like I
San
got
Juan,
it. I was
the
like, oh, I
host,
get
does a
this.
good job too.
Yeah,
So it's a good synergy
yeah,
for
it's beautiful work.
everybody. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
really cool.
yeah.
Um, so on the heels of what you just said about like, we're not who we are now, like we were when we were kids, right? But
Yeah, some degree we are,
to
sure.
some degree we are.
Yeah.
So much so. And I've actually thought about that
Mhm.
fairly recently. Like there's a lot about who you are as a kid that's going to either equip you to do something or you're not going to be able to do something too, like
Sure.
those experiences.
Right.
So before we got on camera, I asked you, where you grew up in Birmingham, and
Hmm.
then you went to school with a business
Yeah, business management,
management.
business
Okay,
administration,
administration. That doesn't sound fun
which is
at
different than
all.
manage. I don't know. No, it's not fun. I
Administration.
think I took one or two actual business classes. Most of them are just core classes.
Hmm.
I don't know.
So when you were going through college, what were you going to be when you get out?
Well, I wanted to be an FBI agent.
Hey,
I wanted to, I watched too much TV, right? Too many movies. It just looked fun. Like I
yeah,
could
it
do
does
this.
look fun.
And I'm very intuitive. I
Mhm.
feel like I would make a really good detective.
I think you would.
I read a lot of Hardy Boys books too, so that
Hmm.
probably didn't help. But my parents were a hard no on that,
Uh-huh.
and this was kind of still at a time where and I still do value my dad's opinion. My mom's passed now, but I really did sort of lean on them in a way to kind of help guide me. A lot of
Hmm.
it was because I was scared to make my own decision,
Hmm.
but a lot of it also had to do with yeah, they've been around a while. They probably know.
Respect.
Yeah. So okay, so I don't want to do that. So I just picked a general business degree. You could do anything with that.
Hmm.
You can't do anything with that. You can barely get in the door.
Yeah.
You're like, so what are you good at? Generally nothing. I'm just sort
Yeah.
of, I'm
Yeah.
trainable.
Administrating.
I'm trainable. That's
Hmm.
all it said.
Hmm.
And so anyway, but I got a job right out of college in finance. So contract surety bond underwriting.
Mm.
So like big construction bonds.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you worked in Birmingham at a job like
I
that?
worked in Birmingham for about 3 months and then moved to Sacramento. So I
Okay.
was there for like 4 years.
And what was in Sacramento?
But I love Sacramento.
I know, but like, were you
Yeah.
working in finance
Oh
there?
yeah, same
Oh,
thing, same
okay.
thing.
Same
Just
thing.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
they had a job opening. I could either go to Boston or we could go out to Sacramento. And I like Boston. I've been there, but Just
Sacramento's nice too.
kind of want to go west, you know.
Yeah.
So it was fun.
Yeah.
It was nice. Job was easy.
Okay. Easy. And did you have kids yet?
No, no
No.
kids yet.
And were you married?
Married.
Okay.
Glory years. No
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
You could do whatever you wanted. You didn't have to, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I love my kids, you know, but
Different phase.
there's a lot of your life you gotta kind of step back from.
So then, after experiencing that, how did you get into filmmaking or photography at that time?
I didn't.
You didn't?
I mean, at that time, I did music mainly.
Okay.
That was kind of the creative. I've always had like a creative outlet happening somewhere in my life to kind of keep me, you know, going.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was a musician, is a musician.
What does he play?
Piano.
Okay.
But I never learned anything really from them, you know, from my dad. Really, he didn't really want us to play, and my sister didn't really want to, but it was kind of big on like, no band life for you guys, you know, been there, done that,
Oh,
not
yeah.
for you.
I see.
And
I get it.
so, you know, that just makes me want to do it more.
Mm.
And so I, you know, taught myself guitar over a period of time and just did that. But I didn't start doing photography until Evie, our first child.
Okay.
So that was when Dad had, he's still doing photography. He's retired now, but he gave me a EOS 1 DS, which is like Canon's digital flagship camera, you know, at the time, probably 4 years ago, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So he'd sort of moved on to bigger and better cameras. And he's like, hey, I'm going to have a grandkid. Here's a camera. Here's a lens. Here's the manual. Read it. Figure it out. I want some good pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm like, no, Dad, I'm not. No, I don't. You know, I'm not going to learn all this camera stuff. And he's like, just, you know, you'll see. Like, okay. Sure enough, you know,
Wow.
you have a daughter, and you're just like, oh, she's really cute. You know, I got a nice cane, you know, maybe I'll figure it out. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and so I did, and it was just, you know, it just clicked. It was just something I really
that's really
liked to do.
special.
Yeah.
For Evie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took a lot of pictures of her.
That's amazing.
A lot. I had no idea what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Just shot in automatic, you know, just loving it, you know.
And then since then, self-taught?
Yeah, and then I just started reading the manual.
Okay.
You know, so I mean, I don't know. It was there. It was told you a lot about the camera and all these cool tricks you could do. I was like, well, that's interesting, you know. And then I would call him, you know, he was kind of Google to me for, you know, the first 6-7 months, you know. Hey, Dad, what do you do if, you know, this lighting condition happens, or how do you, you know, and there's never one answer, you know. I was like, well, you know, you could do this, or this. And yeah, just started shooting every chance I got.
Wow. So then you fell in love with it.
Yeah. They didn't want to buy cameras, and, you know, just start taking pictures all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then how did you segue from that into film?
I was necessity. You know, film was kind of one of those things that everybody wanted to do video. And I didn't know at the time, but I still genuinely believe this, but you have you get the video guys and you get the photo guys. And at the time, rarely was it the same guy. You know, usually it was like, oh, this person does video, this person does photos. It doesn't really, you know, and those cameras then, they did video, but it wasn't, you know, there was two different things. But I just, my job at the time, I needed to learn it. And so I did. And I got kind of good at it, and I enjoyed it. And I did them so much, so often, that I really feel like it made me a good videographer, because I started as a photographer, because I could really understand the composition and sort of the lighting, and just, I don't know. I feel like the aesthetic is different, because I didn't look at it from a video or a filming lens to begin with, which is different. I know a lot of guys who start in film, and they're great, but it just looks different, you know? So I think for me, I'm pretty thankful that it kind of helped develop, I think, the style a lot.
So you did a lot of commercial work for like about 7 years. You were doing some hardcore commercial work.
Yeah,
what were you doing?
I was a creative director for Ocean Reef Resorts, which is here.
Yeah.
And that was kind of everything, you know, just everything you can imagine. So I learned to do, again, it kind of have a necessity. We needed images, we needed stuff. It's better for Google if they're not stock images and not stock video. So I would we produced a magazine at the time. So I had to learn food photography. I had to learn, you know, uh, portraits, headshot. I mean, everything,
What was the magazine called again?
interiors.
I forget.
It was called Souvenir Magazine.
Yes, yes, okay.
Yeah. But but I didn't know what I was going to shoot from day to day. Like I would be inside shooting interiors, and then the next day I'd be shooting with the Coast Guard. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
how do I do a Coast
Yeah.
Guard shoot? What is that?
Wow.
What do I
Yeah.
even do?
Right.
I don't know.
What did you do?
I don't know. Just figured it out. But that's kind of a good my personality too. Like I don't like to plan it too much. I like it just to present itself, in a manner of speaking. I like the song to sort of write itself and be observant and to feel out the scene and to just sort of try to capture
Capturing
what it's
instead
telling
of
me. Yeah, instead of forcing my own thing on
forcing
it.
it. Yeah.
At least I try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is your favorite photo that you ever took?
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea.
No idea.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I think and that kind of goes to the different versions of yourself. I think, I made a gravitate towards like something different 5 years ago as I would now. I don't know.
With social media totally sort of ruling the world, let's say in the last 6 to 10 years,
Yeah.
probably the last 6, what did that do for your business where everyone wants, well, obviously photos to begin with, architectural,
commercial work
which by
business?
the way, your architectural photos or photography is amazing.
Thank you.
And
Thank
this
you.
book that you gave me here, Dune Lake,
Yeah.
we'll show some of the pictures when we end up producing and editing this, but they're really, really beautiful.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I love architecture.
Yeah.
I didn't even know I would. It was again, I was shooting interiors for vacation rentals, which, some vacation rentals are nice, some aren't so nice. But I just really loved it. I love the patterns and the lines, and I could take my time and learn composition. I don't know. It just clicked. It really did.
So then next level for social would be video. So
Yeah.
when that happened, did your breakout for being as super busy as you are right now sort of coincide with that needing to so many people needing to populate video on social?
Yeah, video was huge.
Okay.
All of a sudden it was like people were scattering, like, we need video, oh my gosh, and which makes sense. But got a lot of that. And then it got even faster, you know how it goes.
Yeah.
You start out making, I don't know, whatever the attention span was, or the algorithm said, oh, people generally watch for 15 seconds. And I got to like 10 seconds, 3 seconds. And it's a sort of an endless game of attention grabbing, which I don't really do. I don't excel at that at all. I have a hard time trying to make a video that's going to grab somebody's attention from the get-go. Like, it's not really how I shoot. It's more for the long play. It's more for a deeper dive.
I find
people.
that myself personally, and usually when I feel something, I think other people do too.
Yeah.
It's very common that we're all pretty much the same.
Yeah.
I think people have more of an appetite right now to rebuke that
I do too.
2, 3, 4 second attention span, because everything is so boring.
Yeah.
That then if you like catch something that interests you and then you find yourself getting lost in it for 2 minutes, which is like
God forbid.
a whole lifetime.
Been sitting here 2
It's
whole
like
minutes.
way more interesting.
Yeah.
I find.
Yeah.
So I think it changed, and whatever. My own opinion.
There's always going to be noise, and there's always going to be a way to hopefully cut through that. And I think for me, I like to cut through it, at least commercially, where it's slower, where it's literally the anti-hero of what's going on with that. We did an ad a long time ago. I remember on if you ever go down to Destin, lay down. Okay, so the Jumbotron at AJ's. So I was tasked once with an ad, like, hey, we need an ad on the Jumbotron. We're gonna have an ad play. What do we do? It's like, well, so I went down there looking around. I was like, I need to feel it out, So I went down there looking around, and it was busy. It was crazy, loud. And I watched the ads. It's like, hey, you know what I think we should do? I think we should do an ad with no music, and it should just be one shot, and it should be really slow. And I feel like it's going to be so quiet that people are going to like where'd the music go?
yeah, who shut the
You
music
know,
off?
and
Mhm.
that's what we did. It was really cool. We just had a girl sitting in a beach chair reading a book.
Uh-huh. And
That
what
was
was
it.
it? Was it for
It was just
Ocean
for
Reef?
Ocean Reef. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. And
So
people did in the club
yeah,
stop?
we were. Yeah, I mean, I remember we're testing it, and as soon as it came on, everything just gets
Interesting.
quiet, and you
Yeah.
just hear the beach.
Wow, that was
You just hear
cool.
the waves and the wind, and that was the ad.
Yeah.
And
Outliers are always
yeah,
in
sometimes
style.
I think it's easy to get into those mindsets and algorithms, I get it because that is how
Yeah.
people click and
Yeah.
statistically. But I think trying to stand out as a brand,
Mhm.
you don't have to think within
Yeah, I agree.
those things.
Totally. So, filmmaking now. You just finished editing for a documentary called Jackie Cochran.
Yeah, so I shot it. Most of it. There was some
Okay.
interviews I didn't shoot, but yeah, I was the DP on that and did some editing.
And I heard it was
Little
really good. I haven't seen it
music
myself,
scoring. Yeah, it is
but
really good.
you like it.
Yeah,
How
it's
long is it?
43 minutes,
Okay.
42 minutes or something. Um, good, took a couple years. I mean, Jessica, who directed it, she just, God, I don't know. The planning, it's not really I don't know how you put all that together. My brain stops at that. But
Mhm.
she did a great job of
Mhm.
just,
Jessica
yeah,
Private
Anderson, yeah.
Anderson, yeah.
So she got the story, which was basically the the most famous pilot you've never heard of,
Mhm.
who's broken more records and distance and speed and all sorts of just airplane stuff. And
Mhm.
it's not really my
Mhm.
thing, but
And
the
also
more I learn,
nearby Defuniak, right?
yeah, she's from
Yeah.
Definiak, yeah.
Mhm.
And I mean, her plane is in the Smithsonian, so
Wow.
it's not like she's not really known,
Right.
but like none of us really know it.
Right.
You always think of Amelia Earhart, or you think of all
Mhm.
these like famous pilots that,
Mhm.
oh, this is the sound barrier guy, whatever. Um, yeah, it's just really interesting.
So is Nancy Hastings is the one that
She
plays her. Okay.
plays her in the it's like a one woman production play of her life, which is sort of the thread throughout the whole
Mhm.
documentary. So, and we
And
shot that here. Yeah.
yeah, here in the Rep,
Hmm.
which is a place that is near and dear to my heart
Yeah.
because when I moved here from Boston 33 years ago, I was the marketing director of Seaside. I don't know if you know that.
No.
Yeah. And so in this room that we're in right now, we would have a merchants association meeting every Thursday from
Yeah.
like 2 to 4. And so all the merchants in town, would come in here and I would have to deliver a marketing report. And I was from New England
Hmm.
and they were not, or vice versa.
How was the accent back then?
Mine?
Yeah.
I never had a really, really bad accent to begin with because I was on the speech and debate team in college
Oh.
and I had speech coaches to
Hmm.
knock it out of
To
me.
kind of like,
But
yeah,
every
yeah,
now and again, even now, like
yeah.
if I get really tired,
Hmm.
like a word will just fly out and I'll just say, where did that come from? Because it's not the prettiest accent in the world. But
Says who?
well, I'm kind of glad that I shed that to tell you the truth. But
Well,
anyway,
I feel you. I'm from Birmingham, so yeah,
well, no, that's
yeah,
not the same.
yeah.
Birmingham's a much nicer,
Yeah,
smoother
it
sounding
depends on
accent
it.
than
Depends. It depends.
hardcore Bostonians. But anyway, so yeah, this room is like, near and
Yeah.
dear. And every time, even when Seaside's really busy, and sometimes I think it, became too commercial
Hmm.
and it's not what it was when I first moved here. Every single time I get out of my car
Hmm.
and my feet hit the ground, and I remember I lived in Ruskin Place,
Hmm. Yeah.
and I just go, wow, like for me, it holds so many memories.
Yeah.
So I'm thankful to the Rep for letting us film season 5 in here.
Yeah.
Um, Lots of changes going on with everybody, myself included,
Yeah.
the Rep, and lots of people, that I know. It's a big an upending of some things with new things starting again.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we're here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Change doesn't have to be bad. It can be good.
Yeah.
I used to be so afraid of it. But now
Yeah.
I don't.
Embrace it.
I mean, I say that, it depends on, you always have varying degrees, but I do try to consciously be like, you know what? Okay.
Change is
What do I
not
know?
bad.
Yeah.
I've determined
Yeah.
over time. If you have money Change is not
Yeah,
that big of a
yeah,
deal.
yeah, yeah.
If you
Here's
don't
how it
have
works,
money,
Mark.
change is
If you have the yeah,
a horrible,
yeah,
horrible thing. And
this is true.
really, like at a core level,
This is true.
that is truth.
Yeah,
You have
yeah.
to just keep that machine going and, have it
Definitely
to
makes it a lot harder without it. Yeah,
yeah, a lot harder without it.
yeah,
Yeah. And so much going on with but as a business owner myself and obviously you too, we are also in the business of generating money
yeah.
because you can't keep doing what we do without
At
generating
some
it,
point, you
right?
got to make a dollar. Yeah,
At
this
some
is
point,
it's true.
like every 5 seconds, you have to make a dollar now,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah. Pretty much.
Which is kind of so much more boring to me
Yeah.
than it used to be. Like literally, you could like worry about making like, oh, I have to make a nut for a month or two.
Hmm.
Literally now, because it goes so fast, you literally have to play this
Yeah.
money Russian roulette game
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah.
in real time.
Yeah.
It's
I
not
know.
even like, it's just it's
No, no.
almost comical.
Yeah, it
I
is.
have embraced the comedy of it.
Yeah.
Um but also when beset with any challenge, I will figure out how to figure it out.
Yeah.
And so thank the dear Lord above that I still have like the hustle and tenacity
That's a great mindset. I
to be
mean,
able to
to
do
know
it.
that you can and
Yeah,
just
and
like,
you
I'm going to
can,
figure it
and you
out. Yeah.
can, and I'm going to figure it out,
Yeah.
which is weirdly, and you brought up something like struck such a chord in me because I'm the oldest of six
Hmm.
who were like all like 13 months apart or something like that. So, your childhood can form you.
Hmm.
I had to figure a lot of things out in that pecking order in that
Yeah.
situation. Um, and my family was like, lived in Boston before we moved to this, rich town that we ended up going to high school in and all that. But we were kind of on the other side of the tracks. But we
Hmm.
still, like, were in this like ridiculously wealthy town on Cape Cod. But back then, when I was in the city, young, I think I moved when we were 12. I liked ice skating.
Yeah.
And I wanted to go ice skating. We went ice skating every Saturday and Sunday. My dad would take us to the MDC skating rink, and at the end of the rink there would be like a little skinny rope, and all the people that could afford to be learn to take ice skating classes were there.
Yeah.
And so I would keep circling it. And at like 9, 10 years old, I would look and I'm like, well, I can still see what the instructor is telling them to do. So if I just stand on this other side of the rope
Yeah. You
and
can.
I mimic it,
Yeah.
well, I'm like, I figured that out at a very young age of something that I wanted to do and
Right.
learn that I couldn't technically afford
Right.
as a kid.
Yeah.
So then the entire rink would follow me and we were all doing it.
You just pinching off this guy's
But
lessons.
then
Yeah.
I got yelled at
Yeah.
and
Of
I
course.
got
Yeah.
bopped off the head because the guards were like, no, you're not supposed to do that. And I learned, and I'm like, God, even as a
Yeah.
kid, I
Yeah.
thought,
Why not?
why can't I do that?
Yeah.
Because but I understand now, really,
Yeah.
because it's a caste system.
Yeah.
And if you can't, figure anyway, whatever. But to some
Yeah. No.
degree,
Yeah.
a lot of how you are as a kid is
Mhm.
going to
It's
either
true.
help you or hurt you when
Mhm.
you're trying to figure out adult things.
Yeah. Yeah. No. 100%. I think a lot of tenacity sort of develop
Yeah.
when you're little,
Yeah.
and you I don't know. You either know how to wield it, and you usually don't when you're a kid, but hopefully that as you grow, you can kind
Yeah.
of figure out how to.
Yeah, but and the point of that is, at first I thought that that was a adversity, and I thought it was really bad in
Mhm.
different things that would happen like that. And then as I got older, and I'm my older self, right? I
Yeah.
look back at my younger self, and I'm like, huh. If I didn't have to be met with various challenges like that, I
Mhm.
would not have learned how to
Exactly.
do what I do now.
Exactly.
Basically, figure things out.
The hard stuff is the greatest stuff.
The
I
greatest
mean,
stuff, yeah.
when you're out of it, especially, it's easy to say that, um,
But
but
it
it
is.
really is.
It really is.
That's the point of it's a way that's telling you, hey, like something needs to change, or something's coming.
Hmm.
You're gonna have to face some kind of something, and the pain is always we always want to avoid it, but and we do. Even me, like when stuff comes up, I
Yeah.
want to avoid it,
Right.
but I also know that this is probably showing me something. This
Right.
is
Right.
probably something I need to work on. This
Yep.
is
I know one
In the long
example when
run,
I
it'll be
bumped
good.
into you that something was showing something to you when you had, and I won't say name names, but
Yeah.
the gig you had at I can't really say what it was, but where
Hit
where
that
the
place with the guy with the thing.
no,
Yeah.
where the New York ad agency hired you
Um, oh,
last summer.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That wasn't fun, right?
That was not fun.
No.
No, no. I did get very
But what
angry.
did it teach you on
I
that
got
one?
very angry with that.
It taught you something.
To ask more questions,
Yeah.
you know.
Hmm.
Technically still not my fault, but
Right.
you know,
Hmm.
technically and legally, but
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Should double check everyone's sort of yeah.
Expectations. Hmm.
Yeah. Huh.
Hmm.
Are you sure?
Right.
Because,
Yeah.
been
Because
there,
I
done that.
own this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just so you know.
Right.
Yeah. You don't, I do. So,
Right.
yeah.
Um, so did working on and filming Jackie Cochran open up and birth something in you where you want to get into more filming?
Yes, I think I've always wanted to do that um in a longer form. Like I like making short videos, but it was a lot of fun.
Hmm.
Like I can kind of see more of the process and I don't know. I really like to take the time to
Hmm.
do things.
Hmm.
And you don't get that a lot in commercial work. A lot of times it's gotta have it, we got 4 hours,
Yeah.
that's it, we got the
Yeah.
place for only so long.
Hmm.
It's the only day we can shoot
Right.
it. And you get that too
Yeah.
when you're shooting,
Yeah.
but it's just different.
Right.
The pace is different.
Right. What's the dream that you really would like to do in the future creatively?
I'd like to travel the world and do architectural photos and sell
Ah,
art.
really?
Yeah. Yeah. Architectural
Awesome.
video too. You don't see a lot of that. So
Hmm.
yeah, but either one of those.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Um, Parting words of wisdom to somebody that wants to do what they want to do.
Do what you want to do. Yeah. The end.
The end.
No, really, don't get so hung up on comparisons. I think that happens a lot now. It always happened, but especially there's so much to look at. There's so many, you know, good photographers out there, artists in different forms, and it's really easy to be like, oh, I'm not as good as that person. I don't even know how to do that, or how do they get this gig and I don't get that. Just do you, and that sounds so
Yeah.
kind of stupid, but it's true. Just really try to tune yourself to what am I good at? What am I really interested in? And do it. And
Mm.
actually, take the time to
Hmm.
consistently to do it,
Hmm.
to practice.
And be good at it because I think with you, self-taught and just watching your methodology and what you do, you really want to be good at what you do,
I do.
and you are really good
Well,
at
thank
what
you.
you do.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, it shows,
Thank you.
like that extra, that heart
Well,
really does come through.
I appreciate it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's I learned from a audio engineer friend of mine years ago. We're in the studio mixing music, and a lot of cool stuff of how to even get to make tracks and everything. But he told us, he said, look, the last there's a lot of engineers, a lot of bands that can get to like 90% where it's amazing, good song, good hook, sounds great, but that last 10%
Mhm.
is really what makes the difference between a good track and a great track. And I've always remembered that. And I
Mm.
feel like I try to do that with video too,
Mhm.
even if it's just a little
Mhm.
detail, no one's going to know,
Mhm.
no one's going to really see this, but they add up. And I feel like you are able to invest a different type of energy into what you do. And hopefully it comes across that way when people are like, it just resonates different. Like they
Mhm.
see it and like, oh, there's something a little bit different about this. I
Mhm.
like it.
Mhm.
And hopefully it's just because I've worked that much
Mhm.
longer on
Mhm.
it.
Wow. Well, thank you for being a guest here. I've enjoyed it
Thanks for
immensely.
having me. This is great. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. Good combo.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, have a great day. So glad to be speaking with Mark Little. And please check out all of his work online. He is a very gifted and amazing filmmaker and photographer and an overall good guy. Have a good day, everyone. Bye bye.